Okay. Hello everyone. Very good evening. I welcome you at this channel of Gate Wallah, and today we are going to discuss about some of the best career options that are available for computer science graduates. Okay, so we all know that computer science is basically your universe, and there are various options available in the field of computer science. Many of you may perceive, generally these students who have just started their graduation in computer science, they may feel like that computer science is just one field, and um, they all will eventually get the similar type of job. So it's not actually true. So you all know that there are various sections under. So your computer science is basically your umbrella, and within that you have various things within the computer science. So I'm going to explore that what are the different options that are available in the field of computer science, so that while pursuing your graduation you can develop your skills towards your interest. If you are interested in artificial intelligence or machine learning, you can develop the required skill. If you are interested in blockchain development, then you can develop the required skill accordingly. If you are interested in development operations, you can develop these skills accordingly. So what are the various options that are available in the field of computer science, and what are the required skills so to do good into those areas? That's what I'm going to discuss in this particular session. So let's begin. The very first thing, which is quite famous in current scenario, is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So if you are interested in making a career in the field of artificial intelligence and machine learning, so I say, so please try to understand when I say best career options, anyway you will have to acquire all the skills of computer science, but along with that, if you are interested in artificial intelligence and machine learning, then you need to put extra efforts towards this required skills, so that you will get an upper hand while applying for the corresponding job, or applying for the corresponding companies that eventually are working into a specific domain. So if I say artificial intelligence and machine learning, so most of the companies in the current scenario are dependent on the artificial intelligence and machine learning, but there are some well-known companies that are specifically working in this area. Those are Google's DeepMind, OpenAI, right? NVIDIA, Meta AI, Microsoft Research. So these are basically working in the field of artificial intelligence. Many of the Indian companies are also working in this area, like TCS, AI Labs, Infosys, Wipro, Homes, Zoho AI. So these are some of the companies, and all the texts are written. If you want to make a list, then you can go through the slides. I'll go slowly so that you will be able to pause these slides, and you will be able to write down that what are all the companies I may be aiming at, and what are the required skills that I must develop if I'm interested in making a career in so and so field, right? So if you are interested in artificial intelligence and machine learning, so I would just say that Python, TensorFlow, PyTorch, data structure, or these are some skills that you will eventually use to write the codes. Then data structure, linear algebra, and statistics are anyway going to help you in any domain of computer science, but especially linear algebra and statistics are very much required if you are interested in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Along with that, deep learning, natural language processing, and computer vision are also required. So these are some of the required skills if you want to make a career in artificial intelligence and machine learning. And let me tell you very clearly, when I say machine learning, you should have a very good knowledge of mathematics as well. So we are not mentioning mathematics here, because we know that if you are interested in machine learning, the moment you start learning the concepts, or you start learning the algorithms of machine learning, you will eventually get to know that you will have to learn mathematics. Different sections that are required. So yeah, growth reasons are quite obvious, that adoption of AI is quite frequent in almost every industry. So some of them are mentioned, but yes, right? So when I say salary, this is not the exact figure. We are just trying to provide you a range that you may get a job between 10 LPA to 35 LPA. You may go up to 1 CR as well. You may get 9 LPA. So we are just providing a range. How good you can represent your skills to the interviewer, and once you gain the experience, what type of work you do, that will decide that what will be your trajectory in terms of finances, if we talk about, right? So average salary in India may be 10 to 35 lakh, and globally it may be 1.2 grand dollar to 2 lakh 50 $2,50,000 per year. So second most interesting or second most dominant field in the field of computer science is data scientist and data engineer. We all know that artificial intelligence is and machine learning is one section. Data scientists and data engineers are different things. So companies you can make a list of, because I'll not go into the detail, because these are the companies, if we say top companies that are working in the field of data science and artificial data science and data engineers. So Google, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, Microsoft, some of the international companies, apart from the Swiggy, Zomato, Paytm, all of them are also. So the companies that are heavily reliant on the data will eventually require the data scientists and data engineers, right? So this is about companies. But when I say that what are the skills that are required to become a data scientist or data engineer, then again Python is required, because you want to write the code so that you can access the data. Apart from that, for the large data, you will have to learn the concept of SQL also, language R, okay, statistics and machine learning. So when I said that machine learning, I already told you that machine learning will eventually require the mathematics so that you can analyze your data. So when I say machine learning, automatically data science is involved, but there are two different posts. For artificial intelligence engineer and machine learning engineer, there will be a different post. And when I say data scientists or data engineers, it will be a different thing. Calculus is important for data science engineering. So optimization point of view, it may be important. Not the basic calculus, but when I say, sir, if you are saying data scientist, then statistics, probability, these are definitely required. Calculus may not have that much significance, but yes, again, because you have to learn the concept of machine learning, then linear algebra becomes a core in with regards to data scientists or machine learning engineer. Then Tableau, Power BI, Hadoop, these are some big data tools that can be used. Then cloud platforms like servers, AWS, Azure, or GCP. These are the servers you should have knowledge of. So these are the required skills if you are interested in making a career in data scientists or data engineers. Obviously, no need to say that what are the growth reasons because of which we are in the need of too many data scientists or data engineers. Next thing, this is the evergreen field. So once we are done with artificial intelligence, machine learning, or data scientists or data engineers, we know that software developers or full stack developers or backend engineers are very much required, right? And this is generally most of the people are doing in the field of computer science. If you say that, sir, if I just assume a number that if there are 1 lakh computer science engineers, then 60,000 engineers are working in this field only: software development, full stack development, backend engineer, etc., etc. But growth is obviously there, because if demand is more, obviously you will get better chance to replace someone who is already there in the industry. And please try to understand, computer science engineering is a very old branch. People who are at the top position are anyway going to retire very soon, right? So newcomers are required. Some people will eventually, the people who are already existing will eventually get those opportunities, and new engineers or the new pass out graduates will eventually get a chance to become a part of the field. So when I say top companies, so generally all Google, Amazon, Microsoft. So these are some basic companies. So these companies are working in almost all the fields, Apple, etc., etc. Then these are some Indian companies or Indian startups that are working in that particular field. Indian companies, when I say, then TCS, Wipro, they are all service-based companies, and software development is going on in those companies as well. So I'm not mentioning them, right? But these are some startups that you can aim for, because if you work in a startup, you will eventually get good exposure to learn. So learning will eventually be a very important factor in the beginning. if you aim for software development and full stack development. So these are the required skill. This is very plain set of skills that is going on in the field for a very long time. Java, Python, C++, Node.js, database, cloud services, algorithms and algorithms and DSA is nothing but data science and algorithm. The same thing, right? Growth reasons, every platform. As I said, that most of the engineers are working in this domain only. So every app or platform and system needs a strong backend and full stack engineers. Obviously, that anything you develop, you will require some good software developers, and once it is developed, while being developed, some good backend engineers are required to support that system, right? So these are certain things. Obviously, in the beginning, the salary may look, sir, so this time it's only 6 to 30, so it's a range that some of the companies like Google, Microsoft may offer you more than 30 lakh as well. But some of these startups may provide you very less in the beginning, but ultimately, once you learn the thing, once you get the hold of the things, the growth will be significant in this particular thing. So these are three things we have discussed about AI, machine learning, data science engineering, and the core software development. Then the next thing that comes in the mind is cloud computing or development operations or site reliability engineers. So when I say so, then cloud computing, so basically almost all the servers, you need to have a good knowledge of server system, AWS of Amazon, Azure of Microsoft, Google Cloud Platform, GCP. Previously, I just mentioned GCP. It's Google Cloud Platform, right? So these servers, these are the companies that are actually predominant in the field of cloud computing. Then in the India also we have IBM, Oracle Cloud, Infosys and TCS also provide the cloud computing jobs, right? So required skill. So obviously you should have a good knowledge of server system. So it may be AWS, it may be Azure, it may be DCP. You should have how to create Docker. So you should know that particular thing. Okay. And most of the things, so servers are generally, if you don't have, please, if you are in the field of cloud computing or development operations, I would suggest you to learn Linux or Unix, because the way we are especially Indians are equipped of using Windows may create some problem if you actually shift towards server system, right? So please make sure that if you are in your first year or second year, then start using Linux rather than for purpose of coding rather than Windows. So no hard feeling, but for your growth purpose, I'm saying that it will eventually help you a lot, right? Growth reasons, obviously, that most of the companies are shifting, or most of the enterprises are even utilizing the concept of clouds. So basically, so as the demand increases, there will be more and more need of cloud computing engineers and development operation engineers or DevOps developers. Yeah. Then the next thing, so one more thing, once you have developed everything, banking will eventually look for cybersecurity, ethical hackers. These are also full-fledged jobs. You may think that hacking is just, you may take hacking as interest, but it is not so. It may be your full-fledged job, and you can actually make a career if you choose to become an ethical hacker, right? So as far as cybersecurity analytics is considered, then some of the companies like Cisco, Wallah Network, so these are generally in the field of cybersecurity analysis, and ethical hacker are eventually required in almost all the companies to Deloitte and all will be using them, right? So what are the required skills? What are the required skills? So required skills, maybe you must have a good knowledge of firewall development, right? Penetration testing should be known to you. Cryptography, once you say ethical hacking or cybersecurity, cryptography in terms of mathematics will be very important thing. Again, Kali Linux, right? And some of these certifications will help you to get the job, but this certification will not only help you to get the job, but they will also help you to gain the knowledge, right? So if you do some certifications, then it is also going to help you a lot. Growth reasons, you all know. reasons you all know that as more and more things are shifting over the internet, things are becoming very vulnerable. So in that sense, if you do not provide enough security in terms of user experience, then things are going to be worse and the companies won't be able to survive. So definitely cybersecurity analysts and ethical hacker will be required if more and more development happens in terms of software. Right. So obviously if the people are dependent on the software, then ultimately it has to be secure. It has to be made more and more secure. So this is just a byproduct of whatever is happening in the world. So ultimately, cybersecurity analysts and that will be required. Next thing is blockchain developer. You may know about Bitcoin. You may know about many of the cryptocurrency thing, right? So blockchain development is also very famous nowadays. You can eventually become a blockchain developer. You can eventually write your own. I mean, if you want to learn, you can use the concept. Ethereum is basically your open source. You can write and run your smart contracts on the Ethereum and write many of the codes. So smart contracts. So what exactly is, what do I mean by smart contracts? How can we write code on the Ethereum? What exactly blockchain is, right? So blockchain developer will do, right? So these are the things. If you actually want to explore that what is good for you, first of all, you must try each and every one of these things. So I may be explaining some of the things that you may choose to do so, you may choose to do that. But how will you analyze that I am interested in this particular field? So I would just say that please, if you are in the first year or second year of your graduation, then try to explore each and everything in the second year itself so that you will be able to analyze that what will be best for me. What will be best for me? Yeah. Okay. So blockchain development. Oh, obviously, these are some companies that may be looking for blockchain developers, and the required skills are you should know how to write smart contracts, how to write codes on Ethereum, right? Cryptography again becomes very sensitive issue because if you think in terms, everything is available. I mean, all the data is available to everyone. So if you do not make it secure, then again, there is no point of writing a code which is not secure, right? So again, cryptography will be required, and this is blockchain is basically utilizing the concept of distributed system. So you should know how to write things with respect to distributed system. Right? So growth reason, this, I mean, we all know that cryptocurrency is a new thing or new type of money, and that is growing very rapidly. So if as far as it is growing, blockchain developer will have a very good career opportunity ahead. Right? Next thing is product manager. So when I say product manager, this is for the people who are already in the field, or there are many students who are eventually going for masters or some other career or looking for some other career options. So they may choose to become product manager, but you should have a good technical background in order to become a product manager. So as the size of the software, as the size of the company increases, we will be looking for the people who can eventually provide a good connect between the business of the company and the technology that is being used to run that company, right? So product manager will eventually be required in that particular field. So yeah, I mean, when I say product manager, you cannot directly become product manager, but some experience is required. So good technical background will be required. You will work for some of the technologies for 2 or 3 years, and then you can opt for this particular uh, position of product manager. So these are the companies we all know that all the companies will eventually have some product managers, but the idea is Initially, you will have to choose that you want to go into what particular field, and then you can become a pro into that particular field, and you can provide and you can become the product manager for the companies for that particular technology. So as the size of the software associated with your domain grows, obviously the business will require the technical support to run that business, and they will be looking for a person who knows in and out of that particular technology, so that they can provide a good connect between the business and technology. Now, next thing is research scientists. Yeah, so if you want to study a lot, if you want to, if you are very very much interested in learning things, not specifically in terms of job, but you are always looking for learning, right? So research field is especially for those people who always want to explore new things, who always want to engage in learning. Research field is not for the people who actually have learned certain things and they just want to develop based on the things which they already know, right? So research is always about exploring new things. Research is always about open to learn new things, right? So as far as research scientist is concerned, then all the fields will eventually require research scientists, whatever it is. It may be in terms of artificial intelligence, it may be in terms of machine learning, it will also be in terms of data science and data analysis, right? So research is going on in almost each and every field. Research is going on in almost every field. But if you are interested in becoming a research scientist, then the very first thing you should be good at is mathematics, because if you want to analyze various things, then you must be good at mathematics, right? And the current trend will force you to analyze things using the machines, right? Because I mean, in the previous time, people used to do all the calculation by their own, but now the tools are available. So think that, I mean, if the data needs to be analyzed, if you are going to analyze the data manually, it may take days, but efficient tool can do the same job for you within 30-35 seconds, and you can put your mind towards the development thing and towards the research thing, rather than analyzing the data that is already available. And you can, based on that particular analysis that will be done using the machine learning tool or data science tools, you will eventually be able to use that knowledge that you got from the from your tool in terms or towards your research or towards defining a new science. So obviously mathematics is required if you want to become a research scientist. Machine learning algorithms must be known, scientific programming, and some obviously for to become a researcher they have mentioned it very clearly. To become a researcher, you must publish some of the journals or papers, right? So theoretical knowledge is obviously very much important. So if you are only in the implementation part, you don't have very deep theoretical knowledge, then it will be very difficult for you. Right. Sir, is web development on demand, sir? Because AI is no, web development is not that much in demand as of now. So certain things which needs to be taken care very explicitly, for them only you will require web development engineers. Otherwise, most of the things can be automated in current scenario, right? So that's the idea, that most of the people don't even need any assistant in the current scenario as far as AI is available. Okay, so not only private sectors, but as we think of research scientists, government organizations are also involved. So this is the only field where you can think of a career as a government employee. So if you want to become a research scientist, you can aim for DRDO, you can aim for ISRO, you can aim to become professors or research analysts in IITs, NITs, etc. Right? So this is basically, I would say that research scientists may be in a private company, or maybe in the form of academics. right? So in both way, the research scientists are required not only for the purpose of company, but also for the purpose of teaching, right? So research scientists, research field is open to all. So there's the idea that some Google research, IBM research, Microsoft research, NVIDIA labs, they are all available. But apart from that, definitely government sectors are also available if you aim to become a research scientist. And these are the required skills. So this, I mean, I would just say that whenever you are learning something, if you aim to become a research scientist, try to have a thorough knowledge of that particular concept rather than just reading it and trying to solve some questions based on that. Try to analyze that why exactly it has been done, what are the other methods to do the same thing, and then try to compare that why exactly this one is chosen over the others. So those are the things that will help you to learn the concept in a deeper, with a deeper analysis, and that will help you to become a researcher, because that mindset is required and you need to create that mindset if at all you want to become a research scientist, right? So that's the idea. Not only India, world is investing heavily in terms of AI and quantum research. They have just mentioned India, but the world is heavily investing in AI, obviously, and quantum research. So need is there nation-wise, not only nation-wise need, but worldwide need is there for research scientists. Last thing, AR, VR, obviously, sir, most of us are very equipped this augmented reality thing. We are 24/7, we are attached to our mobiles. And it's nothing but augmented reality, right? Uh, Virtual reality or game development is also a career option. So once you go towards virtual reality, not only the codes, but hardware also needs to be developed, right? Not only the code, but hardware also needs to be developed in terms of VR. So I hope you all know that augmented reality is just don't need any hardware, but virtual reality will also require the development of the hardware. And game development is there are various games in almost every day a new game will pop up and it will become famous. So if you become a game developer, if any of the game hits, I don't know how many of you have played Ludo, but Ludo has become, during the Corona time, it was something that I thought, who will play Ludo? But Ludo, I believe, is the most played game during the Corona period. So, I mean, what thing will hit at what point, nobody knows. But yeah, game development is definitely a very interesting point. So, many of the big companies are involved in the game development, as well as some small companies are also involved in the game development. So, EA Sports, and they are all different things. But apart from that, Meta Reality, Unity, Epic Games, Apple is also involved in this. Microsoft is definitely. Okay. Apart from that, some small companies like Gameloft, Unisoft India, Ubisoft India, Nazara Tech, and these are all. So, I mean, you can get associated with any one of those companies while pursuing your graduation. You can create small games and try to analyze that how things can work out in this particular field for you. And definitely, if any good hit is there, there is no looking back, obviously. Now, these are the required skills. I'll just say that you can read all the skills. What is Unity, Unreal Engine, so for the augmented and virtual reality, C Sharp, C++, 3D graphics, obviously, for both of them. For augmented reality, virtual reality, game development, 3D graphic designers are very much required. Blender, OpenGL, Paint, Arco, right? So no need to say that why exactly these fields are growing, because we are almost got involved. We are all, 90% of our time is spent on mobile only. So either we are associated with an augmented reality or we are associated with a game. For virtual reality, definitely some hardware tools are required. So you can eventually, you can also think in terms of, or basically other fields like uh, electronics engineers can also get involved in the game development, because as soon as we say that hardware is required, then electrical and EC students will also have a good say in the field of game development and augmented reality and virtual reality. So when I say money, so I mean there is no limit actually. If you have a good development, there is no limit. Then one thing, this is not only for computer science students, but this is also for mechanical student, EC student, EE student, for all of them, because robotics and embedding system, robotics will eventually, I mean, it's more towards electrical and EC compared to computer science. But obviously, codes are involved. So embedded coding is required if you want to go into the field of robotics or embedded system engineer or internet over technology engineer. So these are certain things. Definitely, this is also a field you can make a career in. You can make a career in robotics, embedded system, IoT engineers, and there are various companies, right? Boston, Nvidia, Siemens, Bosch, Qualcomm, right? So there's Intel, very famous. Almost every system is having one or another tool of Intel. So obviously, robotics embedded system engineers are definitely required, and it will have a very, I mean, I would just say that this price or this salary would not justify if you eventually do something good in terms of embedded system and robotics. Let me tell you very honestly, when students will eventually go for masters, VLSI is as hot as any other computer science branch. I mean, or any, like it may be any other computer science branch. When I say, it may be AI, it may be machine learning, it may be data science, anything. But VLSI is also equivalently uh, considered by the applicants. So that's the idea, that they are doing good, and the salary may be more than the computer science engineers in some of the cases. So don't take it lightly. Robotics, embedded system, and IoT engineers are definitely going to achieve a lot in terms of exposure and in terms of financial stability. So there is no looking back if you choose any one of these three fields. Right? So the required skills, obviously, embedded engineering. You need to know how to write embedded codes, C sharp, protocols, IoT protocols. You need to know Python, microcontrollers, how to develop microcontrollers. That's what you need to know. You need to know that when I say robotics, then how to integrate sensors and how to implement control systems to uh, this designs. That is also a very important part. So when I say sensor integration, when I say control system, when I say microcontroller, do you realize why did I say that this is not only for computer science engineers, but it is also for ECEE and mechanical engineers. So this is one field that can be chosen by any branch, not only by computer science engineers. So these are some of the options that are available, not all, but some of the good options available for computer science engineers. Either you can choose to become an artificial intelligence engineer or machine learning engineer. You can choose to become data scientist or data engineer. You can choose to become a software developer or full stack developer or backend developer. You can choose to become a cloud computing engineer, or you can look for development operations. You may choose to become cybersecurity analyst. You may choose to become ethical hacker. You may go and become blockchain developer. This is something which is out of league, because this is not for the freshers. When I say so, you may choose to become research scientist. So this can actually be done by the freshers. This can actually be done by the freshers if you showcase good strength in this domain. So if you showcase a good strength in these skills, then a fresher can also become a research scientist. This is for the people who are out of reality. I mean, the people who can think beyond reality. So for them, it may be a very good option. then this is again not only for computer science engineers, but also for ECEE mechanical engineers. So I have mentioned all the different fields. The very core motive of this session was to let you know that what are the various options available in computer science that can pay you good. Computer science is not only about knowing C data structure and algorithm. There are various other things in computer science and you need to explore them if you want to make a career in this particular field. And when various options are available, then you can choose that what attracts you most, so that you will never take your job as a burden, but you will eventually enjoy your life while earning bread and butter for your family. So that was the only motive, that these are the various things. If you are in your first year or second year, then try to explore all these fields and then decide that what exactly do you want to do in your life. Okay. So with that note, I have given you all the information related to various things or various top things you can choose for if you are a computer science engineer. Okay. So with that, I'll just take your leave. Thank you very much. Good night. Take care. Keep learning. Okay. So I already answered you, Shiro. I'm good. Anything? Would you like to Nitin, I have mentioned multiple things, and for each one of them, we will require a separate video. So as of now, I don't think that there is any such lecture that I would suggest, because I have included almost all the things of computer science. We have just segregated them into various job descriptions, that who will become an AI engineer or machine learning engineer, who will become data scientist or data analyst, right? So that's the idea. There are various things, and I cannot suggest you any single lecture or any single playlist from where you can cover all the things. Therefore, I won't be able to answer that particular question, because that cannot be justified, whatever I say. So that will be all. Thank you very much. Good night. Take care. Keep learning.